Episode 2, Designed Today. Thanks, guys, for coming back and listening. I'm excited to be able to talk about today's episode. I had the opportunity to sit down with a good friend of mine and coworker, Jacob Jorgensen. He's a special hybrid. He's a good blend of both development and design, and I really enjoy having these kind of UX and design-driven conversations with him. He's a good guy, like I mentioned. He knows his stuff. And I think I just might need to have him on a couple more shows. We had some good back and forth. He's got an opinion equal to mine, and when we disagree, it ends up being really fun. So I think you're gonna enjoy today's conversation. We don't always disagree. It's not like it's gonna be us bickering the whole time. No, legit, it's good. Before we jump into today's podcast, I'm going to just quick plug a couple events coming up. I've got 2 speaking opportunities that I'm actually really excited about. The first one is just about 3 weeks away, March 22nd at BYU, Idaho. It is the Young Professionals Group or Meetup, and I'm going to be invited to speak about creating and validating a business idea. I'm excited about this one. Again, I've got that entrepreneurial spirit, and I think I can add some unique insight from some of my startup experience that I've had. The second speaking opportunity is going to be on April 13th. That's here locally in Utah County. Actually, I think this one's going to be held in Salt Lake at Instructure. It's at Product Hive. Product Hive is a local meetup of UX designers and product managers. If you haven't checked it out, do so. You can find it on meetup.com or download the app and find it on Meetup. Product Hive, it is a growing community and is definitely worth joining. Even the Slack community is great. As I mentioned, April 13th, that's when I'll be speaking. This one's going to be more specific to designing for mobile and kind of the unique blend between maintaining brand identity and native iOS and Android design as well. So I'm excited about that opportunity. And like I said, I'll give more details as that comes up. But without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. Designed Today, we're speaking about Vero. Have you heard of Vero yet? Vero is an app that's kind of gathering some attention right now. It seems as if it's growing the charts. For a while, it was there at the #1 social app. Ironically enough, it's been around since 2015, but within the last month, it's really making waves. It's worth checking out just for the sake of being able to follow along this conversation. But here we go. Designed Today, episode 2 with Jacob Jorgensen. Let's talk Vero. All right, man. Jumping into it.
Okay.
We're talking about this, the Vero app. It is blowing up right now. In fact, I was just reading something this morning. 3 million users now. It's still not paid, though, so I don't know why they said at 1 million users they're going to start making it paid.
But what's more interesting is only 1 million registered users.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
So what does that mean?
It means that 3 million people download the app and 1 million actually got through.
Followed through?
Yeah.
Which would make sense. The sign-up process sucked. We don't need to jump into that so fast, but...
I gave it an F.
Did you grade it?
F, yeah.
You did grade it. That's
in
cool.
red, kind of like the teachers do.
So why is it blowing up?
Some people have said there's a FOMO aspect of it. So this thing's been around since 2015, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they said something like, this will be paid in the future, but if you sign up now, you can be one of the first people that doesn't have to pay. It's kind of brilliant, actually.
It is, considering the app's been around for 2 years.
Yeah. So the first million or whatever they say gets in for free. So everyone's like, crap, if this thing takes off, I want this free lifetime membership, right?
Right.
And then recently they say, oh, by the way, we're not going to do paid in the future.
Did they say that?
They said, they hinted at it. I think they got a little backlash for it, but...
Because it's just coming back on their word or what?
No, they got backlash because people are like, I don't want to pay for this.
Oh, they got backlash for saying that they're going to do paid social media.
I think so.
Interesting.
So they say, get in now because it's going to cost money. Then they say, oh, now that we got 1 million, it doesn't cost money.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I've read, but... other reasons, Instagram's getting some flack, right? Snapchat is getting some flack.
Snapchat is gotten thrown under the bus recently.
Oh, for sure, right?
But the Instagram I don't get. I mean, what do they have against Instagram?
They changed from the chronological feed.
Is that really that bad? Yeah. So I just tweeted the other day, for all, 5 of my Twitter followers, I just, am I the only person who doesn't mind a non-chronological feed?
I don't have the data to speak on that, but I know that.
Are you a big Instagram user?
No, not
Has
really.
it ever bugged you that your feed's not in chronological order?
It would bug me. I don't use it much, but my wife said she's done with it.
Why?
That's what she said. She said she likes to follow people, and it's like her way to catch up on people, right?
Sure.
So if she doesn't see the last 3 posts of someone, she doesn't see the last month of their life. And she's like, how do I know? Perfect example. She said someone said they're at a birthday dinner.
Sure.
She missed it a week later, and she's like, I would have liked to say happy birthday to her.
Sure.
I didn't get it for 3 months or whatever, 3 weeks. I don't know.
So back when Instagram made the idea that they're going to switch from the chronological format to kind of the trending format, I read this article that wasn't written by Instagram, but it was this guy defending the idea at some point you've gone over the hump and you need to switch to a non-chronological feed. And his reasoning is when you've only got 30 people that you're following, you naturally will see everything.
Sure.
But if you start following thousands of people, like Twitter is, thousands of people, Facebook, 1,000 friends, it's impossible to give you everything, and you may not want to see everything because realistically you don't have 1,000 friends.
Well, it's like I don't know if you use Reddit.
Yeah.
But if you sort by new, you're just asking for garbage, right?
Exactly.
You want to sort by hot or whatever.
So in my mind, like my dad, for example, the chronological thing will never bother him because he only follows 30 people and it's all family and friends, and he'll see everything anyways. He won't see anything he doesn't want to see. It's not like he's seeing, Jacob commented on this post and therefore he's seeing it.
Sure.
I don't know. So that's, in my opinion, I'm like, it's never really bothered me. As I scroll through the feed, the fact that one was 6 hours ago and then I scroll a couple further down and I see one that was 2 hours ago, I don't throw a fit about it. It is what it is.
So my question is, when did you start using Instagram?
4 years ago.
Okay. I thought maybe
before we moved down here.
Once you train people to use it a certain way, right, they'll pare down their followers if that happens.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
They learn to adapt. And then after this maybe 4 years of using it, then it's like, okay, let's change it. That's obviously going to cause backlash, right?
Right.
So.
But it did. I mean, like, again, when that hype of the Instagram feed happened, I was concerned. But now here we are like 2 years later, and I'm like, so what?
Sure. Instagram's one of those things. This isn't a talk about Instagram, but that app was like perfect. It was like one of the best apps like I have ever seen. And slowly they started doing stuff to it, right? We're going to throw in the ads. We're going to mix it up. We're going to put in the stories. I've heard, I don't know if this is true, that celebrities have to kind of like pay to bump up their stuff. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
That's what I heard. I could be
wrong. I don't know.
Anyway, it's just once the company gets big, it loses the vision of the original people or something, right?
Sure.
If you read this, Vero has this manifesto on their website, okay? And it's like heartwarming and stuff. Like, we're here for the people, and like this is our vision. Like, you kind of believe it. I mean, I think this is probably a small team, and they're seeing this big corporation, Facebook, right? And they're like, we're the good guys.
So let me ask you: do you believe their manifesto?
I don't know.
That was the hokiest thing I've ever read.
Really?
I did not buy that for a second.
Really?
It seemed very gimmicky. Like, it seemed like just seemed like great marketing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It seemed like great marketing, right?
Do you think there's nuggets of truth? I mean, cut all the PR speak crap out, right?
Okay, the only reason I don't is because of the CEO.
Okay, well that's that. Yeah. Okay.
And maybe it's because I read about the CEO prior to reading the manifesto that I was just like, dude, you're full of crap about the people. Then why did I want to go into that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. That's just hilarious.
Did you look into that at all? Those CEO stuff?
Yeah, there's some controversy. That's all I saw, right?
Yeah.
But the funniest thing to me is like, I'm picturing what it's like to be a billionaire. Okay, This guy's a billionaire, but he's a billionaire heir, right?
Yep.
And I'm picturing like, okay, what would I do if I'm a billionaire? I'm bored, and I probably just kind of hang out all day.
Yeah.
Hang out with my friends. Instagram's probably his lifeline. And he's like, hey, this isn't what I like anymore. Oh, I've got $1 billion. Let me just make a brand new company to fix this like mild annoyance in my billionaire life or something. It's just kind of funny.
Yeah. The manifesto, that was funny.
Yeah. It's different though, right?
So
kind of.
Yeah, I just don't know if I believe it. So they're hyped up around this idea that we are the Instagram without the algorithm.
Sure. Yep.
For the people.
Yeah.
Like that is just, and that's the part that I'm like, so that's the only differentiator that you're based on. Is that enough of a differentiator to replace Instagram?
Okay.
What do you think of that?
That's something I'd like to talk about. Exactly, right? Like, we're going to build a company and we're going to go up against the biggest giants in this industry, right? And what do they got? Okay, we do things chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Instagram could flip a switch and go back to chronologically in 1 second.
Right.
Flush you down the toilet, right?
Right.
Like, that's not totally a business model. The other thing that I think is interesting is they have the circles, right? The groups of people.
Yeah.
That's actually differentiating, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of Google Plus, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two things that I see as why you should use us versus them.
You're not switching to Vero for the aesthetic.
It depends. I mean, I heard someone say that they thought it was slick looking.
Really?
I just read a comment on whatever. It's just some note. I don't know.
Okay, well, somewhere in my YouTube comments, someone said this is a great podcast. So.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I'm not. It's not unheard of. Do I think it's great? No.
The funny thing is so before I even heard about the app, I was scrolling. So one of the things I do follow on Instagram quite a bit is just different creative accounts. Mm-hmm. And so I saw the Vero logo in the feed, and I was like, that's kind of a cool V. Like, I like it. It's kind of got this futuristic look.
Kind of the Verge icon a little bit.
Kind of the Verge
a
icon.
Little bit, you know?
Verge icon meets that new Tron movie.
Sure.
I guess it's not new anymore, but
yeah.
that Tron movie from 6-7 years ago. That's kind of what I thought. I was like,
okay.
And I'm partial to Tron. I like that movie.
I love that movie.
So I was like,
maybe not.
It's kind of cool. It got about 5 seconds worth of viewing time, attention time, and then I scrolled to the next one. And then it was a couple days later that I saw, oh, that logo is actually part of an app. That app's blowing up. Anyway, so that's kind of why it's piqued my interest.
That from 2015, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All of a sudden becoming.
It's super cool. The circles, though, what do you think about that?
Okay, this is what I think.
The groups.
It's interesting. I honestly think it's interesting, right? There's some problems, right? We added each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you added me as. I don't know what
you don't know what I added you as?
No, that's what
There's
it says.
no way. Okay.
No, it says pick who you share this with. They'll never know who.
Oh, I missed that.
Or when I added you as a friend. Yeah. So anyway.
Did you add me as a friend or as an acquaintance?
A very close friend. I can't remember. I think a friend.
It's funny because now that I have that option, when I see people's faces, now I think about it.
You gotta categorize people in the boxes, right?
And I feel bad, dude.
Right?
I'm like, well, no, we haven't talked in a few months, but does that mean you're an acquaintance? Nah, you're a friend. Are you a close friend? Like, okay, no, I've only got one close friend, so every time I share something with a close friend, only one person sees it. Like,
I'm imagining like I have maybe like, and the definition is different for everyone, right? I might have like 7 close friends. I don't know, maybe 10.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, like, I take someone out. Like, am I like breaking up with them? Like, you're not my close friend. That's a big deal.
Yeah, totally
someone
is.
coming in and out of that.
Yeah.
It's like breaking up with someone. There's also this thing of like, when you meet someone, right?
Yeah.
You might think that you guys are like tight, and they might be like, dude, like, we're not even cool at all, right? Not that this is right now, but
no, that's really funny.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa, right? My
dude, add me on Vero, close friend, and the other dude's like, acquaintance.
No, I mean in real life, these things happen, right? You work with someone, they sit next to you or something, and you're just being friendly. You don't have anything in common, maybe, but they might think you're like their closest friend.
This is the beginning of Black Mirror, dude.
Yeah, right.
You know the episode I'm talking about, right?
Nosedive.
Yep, where they just you do know it by name.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
They had their interaction, and they're like,
yeah, and then the other person's like, and they're like,
what?
That's 5-starred you, dude. Anyway, the other thing that I think is interesting is this concept of these circles, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of ties into the scene that we've got right now. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got Snapchat. Yep. Let's just stick with those 3, okay? Facebook's kind of gotten in this territory that, like, I want to call it, like, the grandma effect, maybe. Like, if I go on Facebook, my grandma's going to be there now.
Mm-hmm.
Before it wasn't the case. It was like the college network, like really cool and underground or something, right? Instagram's kind of like my acquaintances and friends, right? And then Snapchat, you know, I'm not going to be snapping just anyone, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know if that's true for everyone, but.
Right.
And then there's this other thing like Facebook's like maybe once a week or once a month, like, hey, we got engaged, or oh, I got a new job or something, okay? Or I went on vacation. Instagram's like maybe once a day, other day, depending on who you are. And then Snapchat's like every hour, like, oh, here's my food. Here's the movie I went to, right? It's like really this. And it's like they're kind of taking that into this app maybe of.
All of them at the same time?
All of them at the same time. So like I can have my stuff for my grandma, but have my stuff, you know, maybe I'd only want to share with some close friends.
Sure. Your Snapchat crowd? Are you a Snapchat user?
Not really.
Are you a Facebook user?
Not really.
You're not a social media guy.
Not really.
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, because I still use Facebook.
I use it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I use it. I'm just not like posting my political opinions on Facebook.
No,
right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I use Facebook most. Do you use the Facebook Watch? Like watch their episodes and stuff? Like,
yeah, I know of it.
I think I've used that quite often.
Really?
Now. I don't know what else I'm using Facebook for at this point. I don't post statuses. I don't post pictures. If I do post a status, if I do post a picture, it's because I shared it from Instagram to Facebook. So I don't know why I still check it as often as I do.
Yeah, we could do a whole other thing on Facebook, right?
So my question though is you talk about this whole the crowd thing, right? So you got different crowds are moving to different things. Kylie Jenner tweets that she's over Snapchat, so everyone leaves Snapchat. Yeah, right.
That was great, right?
It's hilarious. If you were to look at the analytics of Facebook and you took out the, should we say 50 and older?
Okay.
What does that do to their big number stats, right? Their key metrics. What does it do to their daily active users? What does it do to their retention? What does it do to their time in app, right? Those are like the three things that they tout as we're the masters of.
Yeah.
You take out that grandma crowd that you said, now what happens?
I use that endearingly, right?
Jane's grandma won't be watching this podcast. Maybe she will. Jane's grandma, she uses Facebook. She used to use Facebook pretty religiously to like people's photos, right? So I could see that she comes to it to see how her family's doing. Yep. Now that the family's not using Facebook anymore, grandma's on Instagram and grandma likes everyone's.
True. Yep.
Now, did grandma ever switch to Snapchat? I don't think she did. And I think that's why Snapchat was so popular among the younger demographic.
Tween kind of.
Yeah. I was doing some interviews with high school graduates and freshmen and college students for another side project, and the amount of time that they spend in Snapchat was mind-blowing. So I've been in Snapchat and I've downloaded.
You ever hear the streak thing?
Yeah, dude.
You've got to keep your streak going.
So we went camping with some of the young men from the neighborhood and stuff, right? A little outing. And when they were out of service, they were all just disappointed because they had these streaks going that they're like, oh, I'm going to lose my streak.
I knew someone who gave their phone with a friend and said, you've got to keep my streak.
Yeah, that was the other kid who was going. It's like, I just gave my username and password to a friend and they're going to keep it going for me.
They're like, oh, thank goodness, right?
Okay. Genius marketing. But so you got this demographic thing. Which demographic that moves to Vero? Is it the Instagram demographic, the Snapchat demographic?
It's got to be Instagram, right?
It seems like that's who they're taking on.
It seems like it, right? There's no stories. There's no,
I don't see your high school student jump into Vero for whatever reason. It looks too much like Facebook to me.
Vero?
Yeah. I mean, they got the articles that you can post.
Okay.
Like,
no,
that's
okay.
Very Facebook-y.
Yeah. Maybe we dive into that a little bit. Links, movies, music.
Right.
They've kind of...
It's everything.
They're trying to make it everything. What do you have thoughts on that?
That's Facebook reminiscent to me, not Instagram reminiscent.
Sure, people like Instagram because it's like, oh, it's me and my friend's life, not a CNN article, not some, you know what I'm saying, right?
I don't know where legitimately, this is all on the fly. I don't know which camp I fall into because when you have Facebook who did statuses, photos, and videos, and then you get Twitter who just does statuses, Instagram that just does photos. Granted, they do other things now, but YouTube that did the videos, like all these other apps then broke off and they specialized in one of those things. Nobody's taken down Twitter for statuses. Twitter's still alive and kicking as far as statuses go.
YouTube is still YouTube.
Still king of the video, right?
Yep.
And so does it make sense now to create the one-stop shop for all of them? I don't know.
I personally wouldn't have done it that way, right?
What would you have done then?
I don't know. I opened the app and I tap through the tabs, right? Just, okay, what's going on here? I get to the music and the movies line and go, why? What is this? And I'm thinking this has got to be is this a monetization thing?
Yeah.
I look into it. That's their monetization strategy. It's getting the affiliate links or something to it. That I don't think is working too well for them, because then they're kind of going to this paid subscription thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going away from that. It looks like they're just trying to figure things out.
Yep.
So, okay, here's a question for you. Would you pay $5 a year or let's say $1 a month? Would you pay $12 a month for social media?
For social media, you're not saying Vero.
Well, let's say for Vero.
Absolutely not.
Really? Okay.
No. But if Instagram came out and said, starting today, everyone needs to pay $10 a year, I'd pay the $10.
Okay. That's very interesting. Okay, no ads, no mining your data, no weird algorithms, no paying to bump your stuff up, if that's a thing. I don't know if it is. Would you pay $10 for that?
Inside of
Vero.
Vero?
It's like we're like the
I don't think I do.
It's the manifesto thing they're talking about, right? It's like only between people, like the pure experience, no ads, no marketing, you know.
Legitimately, like, so Instagram ads, right? I'm hit with Instagram ads all the time. I don't mind the Instagram ads I get targeted with.
Okay.
Like, have you ever heard of, now I'm getting into something else, but there's like a company called Trendy Butler, and it's like a box stuff, like a subscription box package that you get with stuff in it, right?
I can't remember if I've heard this from you or just heard this, but yeah, it sounds familiar.
Like, so that was one of the ads that I recently got hit with probably like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I signed up. It was a free offer. I canceled it as soon as I got my box.
Sure, why not?
But I was like,
they get your foot in the door, right?
Yeah, it did. And I heard about them, and now here we are talking about them. Like, so if that was they accomplished it. So some of the ads I get targeted with, like, they're hitting me with like things that I am
you'd probably be looking for them anyway, maybe.
Yeah.
In your free time, if you're
I haven't been hit with ads on Instagram that were reminiscent of ads on Facebook that were just like, stop giving me your mortgage ads. Like, I'm not interested in that stuff. Like, that's annoying. But when I got hit with these things, like, I don't even consider them ads, even though they have a shop now button right underneath it.
Okay. I've heard that. I've heard that they've done them well enough where they feel like an extension almost of your content.
Sometimes I see a post that looks so good that I assume it's an ad, and then I realize it's not. And then sometimes I do the opposite. So it's just like, I feel like they have hit a good blend.
Okay.
So no, that's why I'm going like, would I pay for Vero $10 a year? No, I wouldn't. Would I pay for Vero because they don't do ads and they get rid of the algorithm? No, that's not worth it to me, because neither the algorithm or the ads bug me on Instagram.
What about like mining your data or anything like that?
I don't know
selling it to the marketers.
This is where we meet the micro. I don't even know what that means.
Okay, so
what are they doing with my data? What is so?
Some people have gone on Google's case. Okay, you got your Gmail and they like maybe search for keywords in your mail, and people are like, dude, that's creeping me out big time. Don't search through my personal emails,
sure,
even if it's just in a anonymous way or whatever. If Instagram or Facebook's doing this, I don't totally know. Does that bother you at all?
I don't know. Maybe it should. Legitimately, though, I don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, that's kind of... I mean, it works, right? It works for Twitter. It works for Facebook. It works for Instagram.
I only got creeped out once when I was talking about something. What was it? This was recently, too. And then I jumped on Facebook and saw an ad for it. Creeped me out.
Yeah,
that one did.
I've had that happen.
And I've heard people talk about that before, and I was like, shut up. That doesn't happen. Because what you didn't know is you were sitting on the toilet one day and you made a search for it, and that's why it's popping up. But that one, there was no toilet searching. Like, that one I literally talked about, and then it showed up in my feed. And that one creeped me out a little bit.
Okay, so it sounds like they've actually kind of figured it out then. If we're going by, they went this media route, we're both kind of saying, well, what the heck's up with that? Then they go the pay subscription thing. You're saying no thanks. I'm saying, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Why not get it for free?
Yeah.
So it looks like they're trying to build it up as big as Instagram, where you say, yeah, I'll pay for Instagram, but I won't pay for these guys.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe that's the way to go, right?
And you know what? I'll even eat my words on that one. Let's say for whatever reason, even if I wasn't keen to Vero, but Vero is where I have to go in order to continue to do like promotion of my website or my design work, whatever it is, and I have to start using Vero, then I guess I'm paying $10 a year for it. Because I have to use it. It's almost like that case. But Instagram, legitimately, I enjoy using.
Sure. Okay, so where's Vero fail for you then?
The unnecessary hype around its current status right now. Like, that's probably the biggest con in my book right now, is that after I started seeing this all the time, I'm like, all right, I'll download it. I'll see what it is. And legitimately, before work, I was sitting in my car downloading it. And within the first 15 seconds of signing up, 30 seconds of signing up, I froze the app. It's picking my avatar, dude. And I was like, I know I've got an avatar that I've kept in my phone, but it's from like 2 years ago. So I scroll, frozen. Dope.
See, okay. Here's where we will differ in a couple of ways. I'm a dev. I kind of get it. Dude, you go from having like what? Maybe they had, let's say 50,000 people. Then they boost it to 1 million and like overnight. I give them a break for, their server's not going to be able to handle that.
But should the freaking photo selector freeze?
No. So I'll forgive them for that. I don't think anyone else should forgive them for that. But I will say I get it, right?
I did introduce, we've got a developer here. Yep.
Anyway.
Spoken like a developer.
Does someone across the street care and like empathize with, the slowdown at high loads and stuff? Like, no, they're going to screw this thing and they're going to delete it.
Which is why they've gotten this hype around their servers were down over the weekend. People were pissed.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other thing that's interesting is when I downloaded it after you. The servers were fine. I logged in, fairly smooth, added a couple pictures, tested out. So like I like feel you're a little more antagonistic with it, because it's like, this thing sucks. It's slow. My experience was crappy. My first impression was bad.
First impression was bad because it froze.
Sure.
And then when I got in and saw the aesthetic, I don't like it.
Okay.
And let me tell you the biggest one that sticks out in my mind. Like when we started chatting the other day, you mentioned like the whole frosted glass look. Like,
sure, yeah.
That one doesn't bother me as much.
Okay.
The fact that my photos don't go full screen really bugs me.
You can tap on it.
No,
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Like when okay, so when Instagram went from like the blue tab bar, blue tab bar, blue header, like when they got rid of all the color, changed their icon, and wanted to focus on the content, people were up in arms about it, right? Change. Nobody likes change.
Yep.
I loved it. Loved it. Yep, exactly. And now these beautiful photographs that people were taking are now front and center.
Everything bleeds away, kind of, right?
Yeah.
What they want.
My content doesn't bleed away in Vero. I'm sorry, everything else doesn't bleed away when I'm looking at content in Vero.
And I would challenge all those people that hated it to look back now, and they'll probably say, "How did I ever live with Instagram?" Right?
I know
this blue and the like.
Right.
Like that was a clear improvement in my opinion.
Yep.
In your opinion, right?
It's just change. They didn't like change.
Yeah, they don't like change. This app feels like it was made in 2015.
Yes.
And it feels like it got big in 2018. Like, that's just how it is.
Is it not? So I've never seen, I wonder if there's anything out there as far as how the app has changed.
Has evolved?
Yeah,
has it at all?
Yeah.
That's a great question. It feels iOS 7 kind of you, right?
Sure.
The frosted glass or whatever. It reminds me of like a music app. You know how they don't do the things and they have the blurry things on the whatever.
But now even those guys have moved away from it.
Oh, yeah, because it's a little obnoxious.
I remember when I came down here, this was 3 years ago, and I started designing some mobile apps. I worked with a guy who was really big into like just Apple to begin with and has been a fanboy for years. And I quickly recognized that anytime I did a UI with frosted glass, he immediately loved it. And it wasn't like an aesthetic that I was keen to, but I knew like, okay, I'm just going to do a couple of these because it's going to help me get some wins under my belt.
Yeah.
But that was 3.5, 4 years ago.
Okay, confession time. I designed a screen that straight up, you took a picture and it did this, blurred it out and put it edge to edge. Yep. I think it worked at the time.
Yep.
I'm going to have to defend my own self a little bit, right? Again, that was 3-4 years ago.
Yep.
I think it makes the app feel a little heavy.
Yep.
They have to kind of darken out the background, right?
Yep.
It's got this kind of mint color or whatever.
Yep.
I think we'll agree it's not the best, right?
No.
It's not the worst.
Legitimately, I like the V. That is all I'm gonna give them. I like the V.
I will say it's almost a deal breaker for me. You could say this is the best app ever. The whole frosted glass everywhere.
That is your deal breaker.
Kind
Chronological
of
feed, nothing. Algorithms, nothing. Ads, nothing. Paid social media, nothing. The frosted glass, he's out of here.
Maybe. This is just classic me though. I'm one in 1,000, right?
Sure.
I was telling someone I use numbers over Excel because Excel just looks ugly.
Right.
I would be laughed out of any room of anyone who's serious.
No, that's true.
A serious user of any kind of that software, right?
Sure.
If I'm going to go to a thing I want to enjoy, I want it to look good, I think the animations were nice. They had a lot of animations throughout the app, if you noticed.
No, mine were buggy.
You tap the tab bar and the little slider kind of animates to it.
Right.
There's a little crossfades maybe when you're going through the interstitials at the beginning. There's a little like the avatar will animate to the next interstitial. Sure. It felt like it gave it a little bit of polish.
Well, those animations take time. When you've got 3 years to build it up before anybody uses it, you've got... I'm coming up a lot more antagonistic about this.
I love it. I like to play devil's advocate.
Keep going.
So, I don't know. Are the animations necessary? Probably not.
It was a good ad.
It slows down some things.
Sure.
I want to tap through my tabs. It kind of does this crossfade, whatever.
Sure.
But it's funny because when you used it, it was this buggy piece of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
When I used it, it was like, okay, like at least what they tried to do, they did okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, we'll argue on the execution, right?
Sure.
Frosted glass, whatever, right?
Sure.
The unnecessary portions of it, right?
Yep.
This music and crap, I don't
Yep.
know. But it didn't seem like a scrappy app. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This wasn't like the college kids threw it together and like it's cool, but it's rough around the edges, like a Reddit or something, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess
no.
No, I would agree. I guess what I have a hard time with, and maybe this is why I'm antagonistic, is prior to Domo, at that startup, we put 15, 20 different apps on the App Store that were community-based apps. Not for everyone. It was kind of like community-based apps. And legitimately, dude, our apps were at least on par with Vero. And personal bias, I'm going to say we're better.
Okay. And
the fact that this one is blowing up is maybe why I'm getting a little touchy about it, because I'm going, we had better apps. And why is this one blowing up? You know why? Because a billionaire's got money behind it.
Okay, yeah, and it's a little of the Flappy Bird stuff.
Like, wow, this is like therapy for me, actually.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Boy. Oh, jeez. It's like, look, the App Store is a lottery right now. That's just what it is.
Yep.
It kind of always has been. You can see great apps that no one uses, and you can see garbage apps that are number one.
Right.
It's a lottery. And this is the flavor of the week.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time now, but I do want to wrap this up. This is the final verdict.
Oh, great. Okay.
Everything stays on par. Yep. It doesn't pull out any more marketing schemes, doesn't pull in a celebrity to do anything. Like everything as it is right now. How long does Vero succeed?
Oh, geez, dude. I personally think it's the flavor of the week. That's what I think. It's another Elo or whatever.
Yep.
What was the other one? Whatever. These things come and go, right?
Yep.
I actually kind of want it to succeed. I'll be honest. I love nothing.
You just like seeing the big guys come down.
Yes, that is the greatest thing to me. I don't even care who it is. They're gonna have a hard time. I don't know. I think it's the flavor of the week. It's gonna come. People are gonna like it. It's so hard to build a following. It's so hard to get the content in there, right?
Yep.
You can't just pay for that to get there.
Sure.
Really. I even heard celebrities. This is crazy to me, but like celebrities can dominate these social media, so they can change the ebb and flow, right? Which blows my mind. But they said, the hard thing is to get the celebrity to move their platform, and they're gonna feel embarrassed that they only have 1,000 followers or something. It's tough. I don't know.
So-
I don't see this one. I don't see it going. I don't know.
Midsummer. Nobody's talking about it come midsummer.
Oh, dude, no one talking by the end of the month.
Really?
Yeah.
End of the month.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, what about this though?
Okay, well, it depends. How do you define stop talking about it? I stop seeing news articles, or like I never hear another word about it again.
Never hear about it again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I haven't talked about Elo since 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years? 2014, I think. Haven't talked about that ever since. Except in conversations when we talk about apps that fell off.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they had something going. What happened, right? Okay, I'm gonna turn it around then.
Okay.
I'm not a huge social media guy.
Okay.
So this is gonna be hard to answer for me. It's, who do I talk to? Who's gonna tell me about it? Who's gonna, if anything, I'm gonna be the one telling someone else about this, right? I'm following the tech news or whatever.
Yep.
What do you think?
So we started talking about Gary Vaynerchuk, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things that he preaches is to always be looking for the next, right? Because if you can game it and if you can get into it, learn how it works, learn how it doesn't work, you can game it, you could blow up. So when I first started hearing about Vero, I thought, listen, there's not a ton of people on it, and still we're in its infancy stage. If it does succeed,
Yes.
1 million people is not a lot of people.
Mm.
So if it does succeed, it's still in its infancy stage right now. And I'm going, if I could be one of the first designers who's posting his user experience design work or whatever creative work on there, I've got an opportunity to gain a following here.
That's the ground floor, right?
Yeah, that's single-handedly the only reason I downloaded it. I don't know if I'll post another thing to it.
That's what I've seen.
Now, here's what's going to kill me. Is if in 6 months it's huge, I'm gonna be pissed at myself.
Our social media has like Bitcoin now or something.
Kind of.
I wish I got in like when it
When
was
it comes
still
to gaming the
cheap.
system, you've seen
Yeah, no, I
like
get
the
it.
Instagram
I get
accounts
it.
that are blowing up to 100, 200,000 followers. They're crap accounts, right? They're meme accounts. The
Sure.
fact that they're
Yeah.
there though is because they got there early.
No, I agree. It's the same with the App Store. You got
Yep.
the burp apps and all that crap.
Yep.
They were just there first. That's one way to do it.
If it succeeds, I will be eating my words right now.
Well, apparently I have a lifetime free pass, so I've got that going for me.
If they ever, I mean, maybe it was genius marketing. All right, final answer. Does Vero succeed? No, they do not.
Okay.
When are they no longer relevant? I'm going to say midsummer because I still think they're going to ride this wave of it's trending for at least another month or two.
Okay, let me tell you this. They were number 1 on the App Store.
I know.
Now they're 17 maybe. I'm
Maybe.
not sure. I haven't checked it, but I know that they're in I want to say the teens right now. It's been like 2 days. This is one of those things, like, have they hit saturation of these, like, kind of,
Here's why they could fail sooner. Is because 1 million people got in there, put it on the charts at number 1, saw that it sucked, and they're out.
Yeah.
It could end much sooner than you could be right, dude.
I don't know.
Flavor of the week, that could be it.
Maybe. Only time will tell, right?
I guess so. Okay,
Cool, man.
that's it, dude. We're done. Calling it a wrap. Thanks everyone for watching. I guess I have to plug a few things. So if you subscribe, follow us on iTunes, follow it on YouTube. I've got a couple other things coming up soon. I've got 2 speaking events coming up soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a speaking event happening up at BYU, Idaho, at a young professionals event that will be kind of different. Won't be necessarily a design-focused talk. It's going to be more of a startup-based talk. And then I'll be speaking at a Product Hive event in April. So I'll give a little bit more information as those will get closer. But thanks for watching, and until next time.